Folks, I am Kevin Iole, and my guest now is one of the guys that he shook up the world, not just the MMA world, because I'm going to tell a story. President Donald Trump was talking about this man.
Crazy,
So I'm
right?
going to tell that story. Joaquin Buckley, who had the knockout heard round the world on Saturday in Abu Dhabi against Impa Kasanganay. Joaquin, thank you for joining me. Unbelievable performance the other day.
Thank you. Yeah, man. Just like you said, bro, the whole world was shooken up by it. You know what I mean? Even Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, spoke about it. You know what I'm saying, and had things to say about it. So I'm just happy, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, I want to tell you this because I think this is kind of funny. I'm watching the fight here. I'm in Las Vegas. I'm watching the fight. I got to write a story on the main event, and your knockout happened. So immediately I know I got to write a story about this. So I called Dana because I want to get a quote from Dana White, and he answers the phone right away. And instead of saying hello or what's up, he goes, "Oh my God, can you believe what just happened?" So we were going back and forth, screaming each other, so excited about what you had done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I want to get into that knockout in a little bit about, I know you have a great backstory that I want people to hear because it's remarkable. I want to tell you about the Donald Trump story, though. I interviewed Dana today, and I wasn't asking about politics or anything, but
Right.
I was talking about the growth of mixed martial arts and how, Jan Blachowicz met the leader of France, and, Arsenio Rosenstrike had met the leader in Suriname, and, a number of UFC fighters are appearing with President Trump. And he said, I want to tell you this. I talked to the president yesterday, and he said he got on the phone, and he said the first thing he said to me is, "My God, did you see that knockout by Buckley?" He said that was the first thing that the president said to him.
Oh man, and it's still unbelievable, man. You know what I mean? And I gotta give respect to, you know what I'm saying, the man in the house, you know what I mean, our leader, and just be appreciative, you know what I'm saying, for, being so ecstatic about it, you know what I'm saying, and speaking to my boss about it, you know what I mean, because that might just help me get that extra bonus.
Yeah, I want you to know I was lobbying today, and I said, give all 4 bonuses to this guy. He deserves it.
Yes, sir. I hope so.
Hey, let's talk about that. I mean, I think the athleticism of that hasn't been, talked about a lot because, I mean, there you are. You basically have your foot in one guy's hand and you spin around like that and throw that kick. And you said in the ring that you've practiced that. Tell me a little bit about that. And have you ever been able to connect with one of those?
Well, I never trained on it like in sparring or on a person. It's just only on a bag, And I always use the momentum of a heavy bag, and I will push it back and forth. And once the bag came to me, I would use my rear leg kick, like almost like a side kick, and I will push off of it and try to bounce off of it, and then propel off the heavy bag as it's coming forward, and then turn my whole body into it, where my lead side kick will now be put into it, and it generates so much force from just being propelled off the bag and then the snap of the kick. So it's one of the most powerful moves that you can use, obviously, as y'all seen. But I never thought, I would use it in real time, so because I never sparred, I never used it in sparring, just always on the heavy bag.
That, the entire flat part of your foot too got him. I mean, it wasn't like you got him up here. I mean, right in the middle. So you got your entire
right.
foot.
It wasn't even the heel. It was like the base, like the palm of my foot, you know what I mean? And it just launched right into, his jaw. And it got an incredible result because I'm taking my whole body and I'm whipping my entire body right into his face, So,
I know as a puncher, like, I know when you land a punch, you can feel that kind of down through your legs and everything. When you landed that, you saw him and you knew he was out. But when you landed it, could you feel that? Like, did you know, okay, that's it?
No, I mean, I knew I landed for sure. You know what I mean? But I didn't know what type of power I generated from, because it knocked his head back. You know what I mean? It's not like a heavy back where it's just going to stay right there. His head, is movable. So, I knocked his head back. So I didn't really feel, how much power I generated from the kick. But once I, landed back on my feet, and I was able to turn around, I seen the damage that it had caused. And I just knew the fight was over after that.
I want to ask you about a story I heard about you. I think it's true. I don't know it's true, but you fought in LFA. A week later, you come to UFC and you fight a really tough guy in Kevin Holland. I mean, a guy that's one of the best, young fighters on the rise out there. I heard that, when you were in Las Vegas and you called Uber Eats, that you gave $100 tip to the Uber Eats driver. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's accurate. I'm surprised that my man even, said anything about it, but yeah, it's accurate, whatever. Now I wasn't intentionally trying to give my man $100, but I wanted to tip him something. And then when I pulled, my money out, whatever, I just thought about the whole situation where I'm in the UFC, I'm fighting a big fight, and I'm just, had a blessed situation happen to me. I said, why not? Just for good feels for myself. So when I get in the fight, I just have a good feeling about it,
Good
So
doing that for somebody else, making somebody else share in your success. God bless you.
Just let it cycle around. You know what I mean? Yes, sir.
Now, I mean, you talked about just before you came on to do this interview with me, you were feeding your baby. How old is your baby?
My baby's almost 2 months. On the 16th, he'll be 2 months old.
So that bonus you got might help buy some diapers or whatever.
Oh yeah, I think I can buy all the diapers we need.
That's awesome. The other thing people may not know is that you're obviously a world-class fighter, one of the best fighters in the world, but you still have a full-time job. And on Monday, you're going back to work at Walgreens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't think people can comprehend that. How can you do what you do at a world-class level, and then you're working at a Walgreens?
I mean, for the longest time, I didn't have a job. I was just working. At the gym and then working out there and, type thing. So like my work was my job as in training, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I was able to do that a lot, but I realized I don't have to train, too extensively every day, like 8 hours. Cause I used to train like straight 8 hours, in the gym, like nonstop, whatever, but it's just wear and tear on the body. So, as long as, I can train for, 2-3 hours, I'm good. And then of course I got, free time. So I might as well be working, getting money.
What do you do for Walgreens?
I'm just a shift lead, you know what I mean? So I run, the night shift there. And, I just make sure that everybody stay happy, man. Give them some points, if they get mad.
So if somebody comes in the store and says, I don't want to wear a mask, they call the shift leader, and the shift leader, they're not going to mess with that shift leader.
Oh, not at all. You got to wear your mask. You're coming up in here.
So what is next for you now that you made this big name for yourself? You beat, I think, I didn't mention it, Kasanganay. I think, I actually had picked him to beat you in the fight. I really think.
I believe a lot of people did. I'm glad you've been honest.
Yeah. No, and I think he is a good up and coming fighter, right? And I thought, so you had a really close fight with Holland. You come back and you fight this guy. What's next for you? Have they talked to you about when they want to see you again, or what level of opponent you might fight?
Yeah, they talked to me. We already got somebody in mind, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna let my management team, give me the, A-okay to say it. But, we already got somebody in mind and we got a date. So just stay tuned type thing.
And I want to talk to you about this too. What I thought was a lot of fun, and we saw it in your Holland fight and we saw it in your LA fights. I mean, you were LFA fights. You're one of the more aggressive fighters out there. And that bell sounded the other day, and you were after Kasanganay, and you hit him with 2 big shots seconds into the fight. Have you always been that way, or has somebody taught you that this is the best style for you?
I mean, I think it just comes natural. I have always been an explosive fighter. I always came to, fight pretty much, you know what I mean? I had that mentality, like, you know what I mean? It's that kill or be killed mentality, man. So, when I go out there, man, I'm trying to finish you as fast as possible so I can get up out of there myself, you know what I mean, unscathed. But my biggest influencer, y'all already know, and it's every fighter's influencer, but it's mine. My biggest one is Mike Tyson, bro. And he used to always go out there, like, you know what I mean, and fight somebody like they stole something from him, you know what I mean? And, that's the type of fighting style that I like, man. Just aggressive and just to the action,
Yeah, Tyson is a friend of mine. I've covered many, many, many of his fights, and
awesome.
I tell you what, he was something else to watch. Where do you think your ceiling is here? I mean, you didn't really have a training camp for Kevin Holland, so I don't want to throw that out because that would disrespect Kevin and what he did in that fight. But I think that. I think, but be honest though, you know what I mean? If I had a training camp and, I had an actual legit team,
I think that fight, turns out a little different. There's only one way to find out, and I think we will one day.
And that's what I was going to get to, because you mentioned the two words, legit team. So your first fight, you had your coaches had COVID. Your second fight in the UFC against Kasanganay, they had passport issues. They couldn't get there. So both of your fights, you didn't have any coaches.
Right. Exactly. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Things didn't happen like they were supposed to, by my plan, but yet again, not my plan. You know what I mean? The universe had something different for us, and everything worked out just fine. Just fine.
Who was in your corner the other day, and what was it like, getting advice in the corner from somebody that you're not used to? They don't know you as a fighter or whatnot.
Right. So Mike Gilmore and just, my bad, man, I forgot your last name, but just, I got you next time. Papa Bear, that's what we call him, you know what I'm saying, on Instagram. But regardless, though, those two guys, man, they was great, man. They was just nothing but just, let's see, intuitive about what they was talking about, you know what I mean? So when they went in there, they had a great IQ, I could tell, you know what I mean, before even, we went into the fight, you know what I mean, just breaking down Impa, and just giving me some good strategies towards the fight. They did a great job, man. And so, it was perfect, man. They did a great job of helping me out, you know what I mean, and developing a game plan against Impa.
How much better do you think you're going to be with the people you're comfortable with, and the people that know you and know your strengths and know your weaknesses? The fact that next time you fight in the UFC, God willing, you're going to have your team in your corner.
Well, I would tell you this stat: I never lost with them in my corner. So, so you know what I mean. So I think when they come back, when they able to, be in my corner and stuff like that, that thing's gonna happen exactly how they need to happen, and that's with my hand raised.
Awesome. Well, we are going to let you go. We know you got a lot of people want to talk to you, and you also have a lot on your hands. Congratulations again. I'm really happy for you. Joaquin Buckley, one of the best knockouts I have seen in more than 40 years of covering the fight game. He is the man. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, you give me that? Whoa, thank you.
Be well, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.